or manipulate, I don't like to use that word, but
too.
into their message. And if that is true, then that makes total sense why we've had recordings where we've asked a question. On my recorder it says yes, and on Debbie's it says no.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're about handcuff distance away. Usually
Literally.
we don't like to stay more than 5 feet away.
Okay. Hey, can I ask you a question? What kind of a recorder do you guys use? I mean, I use an Olympus DS40, but Carrie Ann said that yours looks square-shaped or, you know.
Well, we use all different kinds. We like the Panasonic because you have the rewind feature. And, you know, we invested in a bunch of those years ago. So we use that on investigations, but we use all kinds. We use the Sony ICD B26, awesome recorder. You know, we use the 16. The Sony 17. You know, I saw somebody else with another Sony I never saw, but it looked just like my Sony. So I'm like, please let me know what you got with that. The Olympus 4100. We use all kinds.
Yeah,
but,
we've
you know,
got a radio.
The thing I like, we just had a good deal, and I like the rewind feature. The Panasonic. There's ones on eBay for like $350.
Okay.
No, don't do that. And we're working with the real time too. And that we did, when did we do it? Like on, I don't remember now, Saturday night or something. But
well, we didn't have it. Somebody else
No,
had it.
but I experienced it, and I listened back too. And that's an awesome recorder, and we're trying to do some work with Gary Galka too, who makes these amazing products. And, you know, I'm hoping to be able to start doing that at home because, as I said, we stopped recording at home. Things just got out of hand. But to be able to listen while I'm here, you know, that would be awesome because it kind of like, it's like being an artist unable to paint. You know, I don't want to record. I don't want to jeopardize, you know, my pets, my children, but I know there's stuff going on here. And to hear, you know, maybe I'll push the envelope, but I think I'm kind of jonesing here. I need to talk to them, okay?
Thanks.
Well, is that what caused you to get into recording EVP because of activity in your home, or was it the other way around? You started recording EVP and things started happening at home.
Well, I was born into an only child on a cemetery. Parents denied it. You know, I've had activity my whole life, every house, every apartment. You know, and I'm not trying to say, hey, you know, I'm all that, but you know, I'm aware of them. They're aware of me, and not only that, but you know, they're not. They've done a lot more for me than living people. So like, I'm nice to them. So what does that tell you? Where are they going to want to go next door if I'm putting out a Day of the Dead spread for them? You know what I mean? So, you know, it's not only being aware of them, but I think treating them right too, and with respect. And I do think I do that. So, you know, I've just been in it my whole life, and I think that this is really my calling in this life.
Well, you guys are awesome at it.
Oh, well, you rock.
Now, when did you start first getting involved with the television shows? How did that come about? Because that really is what propelled you into the spotlight in working with a lot of groups like the Ghost Adventure guys, which, by the way, I have to say, that's my hands-down favorite guilty pleasure show.
Agreed.
Oh, man, you rock. They are,
Agreed.
aren't they? They are the best.
The best.
Sorry, they're the best.
They have something that none of the other shows have. They have character and personality. They, you know,
and not only that, they're totally psychic, and they're channels, and they're everything else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not only are they hot, sexy, and whatever.
Oh, you noticed.
Well,
Us too.
you know, kind of hard not to, but they're like, you know, they've got it going on. They are, you know how I said, like, they drain your batteries? They are batteries.
Yeah, they're so energetic. They're the Energizer bunnies.
Well, yeah. Nick and Zach are. I mean, Aaron seems to have the good sense to say, no, I ain't doing that.
Well, yeah, you know, but, you know, he's kind of, we're all pulled into the cauldron, too, you know, so to speak. We're all in the same stew, and when you stir it, you know, you just get caught up. You're in the same building. They're going to move on to different people. So he can say what he wants to, but they're still he has just as much chance to be followed home as we do, and they do.
Well, to hear him tell it, he was followed home. He actually told that story after the second Bobby Mackey episode, how something followed him home and it ruined his marriage.
Yeah, and I know, we had the pleasure of meeting his ex-wife, too, so I've heard some inside stories, too.
No, the energies of the three guys on that show just balance out perfectly, and I think that's why they get the evidence that they get. But as far as the television shows and stuff, I mean, that was not something that we ever aspired to.
I mean, it's not like you auditioned for anything like this. We just, I don't know, kind of, we were out there, the documentary came out, we did a local news special right after the documentary, because, I don't provoke, and, and I see this guy in a tub in, what do you call it?
The Wash Show Club?
In the Silver Queen. Slitting his wrist, and, you killed yourself, and I'm like, this is appalling. Who are these people? And I'm like, we're going to the Goldfield, and then I see the brick fly, and I'm like, that's bullshit. Let me go. Let me go to the Goldfield. Let me disclaim these people. We had never met them, and then I had never seen activity like that. I've heard of it. I've seen ramifications from it. I've had things reported, doppeled, never in front of my face. Just always you turn around, it's moved, and I'm like, and then you have the provoking thing. So we go there, and, it's at the end of the night, and KTVN Bill Brown has the camera on me at all times. It's getting near 3. We're all tired. And I said, there's people out there saying, did you guys move this? And clearly, like, they were proud. It was clearer than my voice, and they never took the camera off me. They say, thank you, but we've done it. And I think what's most, invoking about the whole thing is that they say, we've done it. So whatever, back in the years, we've all done stupid things when we were kids, and don't say you didn't, because we all did. We're not the same people we
still
were.
do them.
Oh, gosh.
And like, say they provoked or whatever, they were, whatever they did got the ghost so aggravated, or whatever is coming through, demons, ghosts, spirits, I don't know. But we got the voice saying, thank you, but we've done it. So they provoked something so much that, in my mind, they all focused together on that brick and made that brick fly.
Wow.
And it was unbelievable. I mean, we ended up meeting the guys, I don't know, maybe 7 months after that, or
yeah, it just happened to be, well, they're in Vegas, we're in Reno, so, shows to go, yeah. And then they did a conference in Virginia City, and we were part of that.
The first conference.
And you can't meet them without saying these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to kiss butt or anything, but they are just some of the best souls on the planet.
And
I say that truly.
I actually just saw that episode, I don't know, it was a few months ago, where you guys all went back there. It was a pretty active night that night as well.
That was crazy. I mean, there ended up being so much evidence that didn't end up making it into the episode.
Even after effects.
Because I think they wanted to push, they wanted to put a big focus on the fact that the Goldfield, we were not going there to investigate the Goldfield, and that is the God's honest truth.
That is not a lie. We were stationed.
Deb,
all right, no, I'm just getting a little bit excited here. All right, go ahead.
We didn't find out till the last second.
They didn't either.
That the plans had changed, and we were getting into the Goldfield. When we left our house to drive down there, we were going down to investigate the 2 other places. I mean, and they wanted to emphasize that fact. And
and that's
and that was the truth.
Well, yeah, no, they showed that in the episode, and it was funny how they were waiting for the man to come out of the building.
Yeah.
But you have to realize, though, if you go to the town of Goldfield, and this is no lie, I mean, it's like Area 51. As a matter of fact, it's like 3 hours from there. So there is maybe 12 active people I see in the entire town anytime I go there on a given day. So to have Red, the owner, there at that time, it was almost like, oh my God.
It was meant to be, yeah. I was just going to say, meant to be.
And it was not staged. And I will take that to the grave. I mean, it just so happened he was right there. That's why I love them. It's like, are you locked in? Yeah, you're locked in. There's a lock. I'm like, well, I'm the only girl here, so what do I do, But,
oh, you love that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind being locked up with that group either.
Yeah, but when you're talking overnight, it's like, is there a private porta potty over here?
Oh, gee.
Well, yeah, but, the Goldfield's like totally, if you're a guy, it's one thing, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was just awesome.
So much happened, too.
What the heck else happened there? I mean, there was one point. Oh, the next day, when we come back, and I mean, we were just so drained. Like, it's almost like, somebody threw a wet blanket over you, and like, oh my God. And we're driving home, and like, nobody's talking to one another, and it was just like, we were all so drained, every one of us. And, there's this tractor trailer ahead of us, and you're in the middle of the desert, and so we're following this guy to get to our hotel. And, you know, you see he's kind of like falling asleep on the road, and it's kind of like almost like a Twilight Zone moment. You're like, oh, my God, is he going to flip? What should we do? Should we stop him? Should we pass him? And so we finally get home, and then all of us got sick. Zach was sick. I was sick. I was so sick. I couldn't even, you know, get up in the morning to have breakfast. And that is, like, the first and only time I ever did that. Like, I had to. And, you know, the story is, I've talked to demonologists, if you have, like, a little problem, like I had a bit of an ear problem, they will amplify that. Any kind of gateway they have, that you have any kind of illness.
Your weakness, you know, yeah, they'll look for it.
Right. The darkness will, you know, open that up and thrive on it. And I do believe that's what happened. But what was really weird, the next day we're stopped at a light around the corner from my house. And I'm still all, you know, I feel like a bag of potatoes somebody just shook out. And we're at a light, and I look over into the car next to me. And in the back seat, there's a baby in a baby seat. And I look over at the baby, and I'm like, Mark, look at the baby. And then the baby's, you know, you hear the stories like, and I'm not saying the baby was a demon or anything, but like, you know how they lock eyes with you, right? You hear that?
Yeah.
This baby locks eyes. And I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me, and I'm like, Mark, look. And you know how, like, if you're watching video and you both look at it, you don't miss anything?
Right.
I'm like, this baby is not blinking his eyes. The baby did not freaking blink, and I will take that to the grave.
For probably almost a minute, and we were looking at the baby like,
I did not see that baby blink at all, and he was driving.
Freaky baby.
And I'm like, you look, and then I look, and then I'll blink, and then you blink, and that baby was staring dead at me. And that baby, and yeah, I was staring at him, and maybe I got his attention, but neither one of us saw that baby blink.
Yeah, in another thing that wasn't really mentioned, which probably wasn't going to be because it was after the episode, after we left Goldfield, but every one of us, all 5 of us, got really sick.
I just said that.
I know. all five of us got really sick. We drove home. I got home.
We were like putty.
And I got so sick just vomiting that I had to call out sick the next day at work. I mean...
Oh, so it's violently sick.
Oh, I thought a cold or, you know.
You guys didn't have a bad caterer or something.
Bad.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and I was just totally drained. But, you know, my ear infection blew up, and then I had to go see a doctor, which thankfully I already had an appointment for, but he's like, oh, my God, you know, you need antibiotics. You know, you need this, and this. And I'm like, what kind of doctor prescribes you all this stuff, you know? And it was just like, you know, off the hook. He's like, you walked around like that? And I'm like, well, it wasn't that bad yesterday.
Yeah.
It really did seem like, you know, it just really erupted overnight there.
Wow.
Now, with when in Gettysburg, I heard that there was another story that happened where you were doing an EVP session around some haunted dolls?
Well, John took me for a little bit of a trip to pick up these haunted dolls, and the story behind these dolls is it's 100 dolls with 100 different stories. This young lady collected these dolls from different paranormal cases. We really didn't know the history of them all, and
just to clarify, that's John Zaffis?
Yes, that would be John Zaffis, and I was ziggity-napped, as I like to call it. For 4.5 hours driving around Virginia. And when we picked up these dolls, you know, I trust John. I don't think anything of the dolls. I'm handling them and everything. And before I had known, he had talked to Mark and Debbie and wanted to conduct a private EVP session of these dolls. So he wanted to know if there was, what kind of energy was coming with these dolls. So when we get back to the hotel, Chris and Dana so bravely let us use their hotel room in one of their beds, and we took out all the dolls and we laid them out on the beds, and Mark and Debbie came in, and I was not scared until I saw Mark and Debbie walk in the room. And you tell them how you acted, Debbie, because then I got nervous.
Well, I don't really, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to how I acted, but I had never seen so much energy laid out on one bed. And, you know, to be honest with you, John is like an idol to me. I have never had, I work with him at a lot of events. We see each other, we smoke cigarettes, but we never had the opportunity to work together. So, my adrenaline's pumping, in the back of my head, maybe John's coming back with the dolls. Finally, he did. You guys were a little bit late. And I go in there, and these dolls, he had so in here. I need to talk to them, okay?
Thanks.
Well, is that what caused you to get into recording EVP because of activity in your home, or was it the other way around? You started recording EVP and things started happening at home.
Well, I was born into an only child on a cemetery. Parents denied it. I've had activity my whole life, every house, every apartment. And I'm not trying to say, hey, I'm all that, but I'm aware of them. We use all kinds.
Yeah, we've got a radio.
The thing I like, we just had a good deal, and I like the rewind feature. The Panasonic. There's ones on eBay for like $350.
Okay.
No, don't do that. And we're working with the real time too, and that we did. When did we do it? Like on, I don't remember now, Saturday night or something. But
well, we didn't have it. Somebody else.
No.
Had
But
it.
I experienced it, and I listened back too. And that's an awesome recorder, and we're trying to do some work with Gary Galka, too, who makes these amazing products. And, I'm hoping to be able to start doing that at home because, as I said, we stopped recording at home. Things just got out of hand. But to be able to listen while I'm here, that would be awesome because it kind of like, it's like being an artist unable to paint. I don't want to record. I don't want to jeopardize, my pets, my children, but I know there's stuff going on here, and to hear, maybe I push the envelope, but I think I'm kind of Jones.
Form or manipulate, I don't like to use that word, but into their message, and if that is true, then that makes total sense why we've had recordings where we've asked a question. On my recorder it says yes, and on Debbie's it says no.
Yeah, and we're about handcuff distance away. Usually
Literally.
We don't like to stay more than 5 feet away.
Okay. Hey, can I ask you a question? What kind of a recorder do you guys use? I mean, I use an Olympus DS40, but Carrie Ann said that yours looks square-shaped or,
Well, we use all different kinds. We like the Panasonic because you have the rewind feature. And, we invested in a bunch of those years ago. So we use that on investigations, but we use all kinds. We use the Sony ICD B26, awesome recorder. We use the 16. The Sony 17. I saw somebody else with another Sony I never saw, but it looked just like my Sony. So I'm like, please let me know what you got with that. The Olympus 4100.